Good afternoon, sir. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Danny Olmos.
Mr. Olmos. Mr. Olmos, you are here on a Superior Court new case. I find probable cause for the allegations of one count of possession for sale of narcotic drugs, one count of transportation or sale of narcotic drugs, both Class 2 felonies, also one count of disobeying or resisting an order or mandate of the court, a Class 1 misdemeanor. I've appointed you an attorney. Your case will be heard at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse, where you have a status conference November 15th, 8:31 a.m., preliminary hearing November 20th at 8:31 a.m. Mr. Olmos, you were on felony release in another case at the time you were arrested on these new felonies. By law, that means you are non-bondable at this time.
Yes, sir.
So you will have an evidentiary hearing November 18th at 1:30 p.m. The judge at that time will determine whether you are bondable and what your bond and release conditions will be.
Yes, sir.
Then, Mr. Olmos, you also have a Peoria Municipal Court warrant charged with one count of liquor under 21 years of age in your body. That is a misdemeanor. You will be, I'm appointing you an attorney for limited representation regarding the bond issue only. You have an arraignment hearing at the Peoria Municipal Courthouse November 14th, 9 a.m. Bond is in the amount of $50. Don't pay that bond. It will not secure your release because you're non-bondable in the new case. And by not paying that bond, that means the time you spend in custody right now will count towards time served in that case.
Okay.
Mr. Olmos, do you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, thank you, Mr. Olmos.
Yep.
Olivia Nelson, and then Elizabeth Trudeau will be on deck. Good afternoon, ma'am. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Olivia Monique Nelson.
All right, thank you, Ms. Nelson. Ms. Nelson, you are here on 3 Maricopa County Superior Court probation violation warrants, 1 Pinal County warrant, and a Superior Court new case. We'll start with the Pinal County probation violation warrant first. So you have a warrant from Pinal County. You have an arraignment hearing November 13th, 8:30 a.m. at the Pinal County Superior Courthouse. I have appointed you an attorney for limited representation regarding the bond issue only. You are non-bondable in this case. So I'm going to talk to you about the bonds in your other cases, but don't pay those bonds because paying those bonds won't secure your release. And by not paying those bonds, the time you spend in custody right now should count towards time served in those cases. Again, your arraignment hearing is November 13th at 8:30 a.m. at the Pinal County Superior Courthouse. All right, now regarding your Maricopa County Superior Court probation violation warrants, these are for alleged violations of terms 3, 4, and 5. I've appointed you an attorney. You have a probation hearing November 18th, 8:30 a.m., downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. Bonds in the amount of $250 in 2 of them and $100 in the third, so $600 total. Again, don't pay that bond. Then regarding your new case, I find probable cause for the allegations of 1 count of possession or use of dangerous drugs, 1 count of possession or use of narcotic drugs, both Class 4 felonies. I've appointed you an attorney. You have a status conference November 18th, 8:31 a.m., downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. Preliminary hearing November 20th, 8:31 a.m. Bond's just a placeholder bond in the amount of $50. Again, don't pay that, though, at this time. Ms. Nelson, do you have any questions?
I was released on drug court. Am I still on that?
I don't know the answer to that. So when you go to your next court date, you can talk to your attorney about that. Thank you, Ms. Nelson. Elizabeth Prideaux and then Aaliyah Robinson will be on deck. Good afternoon, ma'am. Could you please state your full name and provide your date of birth?
Elizabeth Prideaux.
Thank you, Ms. Prideaux. Ms. Prideaux, you are here on 4 Superior Court failure to appear warrants. You have a status conference November 18th, 8:31 a.m. at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. I am affirming bond. It is in the amount of $2,500 in each case. So your total bond would be $10,000. That's a secured appearance bond, meaning you can pay that directly or work with a bail bonding company. They generally require 10% plus collateral. 10% of $10,000 would be $1,000. If you pay your bond, you will be released. You're then promising to go to court on all of your court dates. You will have an ankle monitor installed as well, and you must comply with pretrial services supervision, as well as the standard conditions and restrictions of release. In addition, you're not to possess any weapons, and you must submit to fingerprinting at the arresting police department. Ms. Prideaux, do you have any questions?
No.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Good luck to you. Aaliyah Robinson and then Dyshawn Brown will be on deck. Hi, good afternoon, ma'am. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Leah Catrice Robinson.
Thank you, Ms. Robinson. Ms. Robinson, you're here on a Superior Court new case and on 4 Superior Court probation violation warrants.
Okay.
So in your new case, ma'am, I find probable cause for the allegations of one count of...
What was the new case?
I'm going over it right now with you.
Okay.
Okay. So the allegations that I find probable cause for are 1 count of possession or use of narcotic drugs, a Class 4 felony, 1 count of possession or use of drug paraphernalia, it's a Class 6 felony. I've appointed you an attorney. You have a status conference November 18th, 8:31 a.m., preliminary hearing November 20th, 8:31 a.m. Ms. Robinson, I am setting bond amount of $500. Your probation bonds total $6,000. So your total bond is $6,500. That is a secured appearance bond, meaning you can pay that amount directly or work with a bail bonding company. They generally require 10% plus collateral. 10% of $6,500 would be $650. If you pay your bonds, you will be released. You're then promising to go to court on all of your court dates. You're also promising to comply with the standard conditions and restrictions of release. In addition, you are not to possess any weapons. You're not to possess or consume any alcohol, and you must contact your probation officer within 24 hours of release. Then regarding your probation violation warrants, these are for alleged violations of terms 3, 4, 5, and 15. I've appointed you an attorney. You have a probation hearing November 18th, 8:30 a.m. at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. The bonds are in the amount of $2,500, $1,500, $1,500, and $500.
And those are for all the 4 warrants?
Those are for the 4 warrants, correct.
Okay.
So again, total $6,500 between all 5 cases, counting that new case, and you have the same conditions and restrictions of release as I stated earlier. Ms. Robinson, do you have any questions?
No.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Dyshawn Brown and then Cesar Castillo will be on deck. Good evening, sir. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Dyshawn Brown, 10.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown, you are here on a Superior Court new case. I find probable cause for the allegation of 1 count of aggravated DUI because your license was suspended or revoked for a DUI. That's a Class 4 felony. I've appointed you an attorney. You have a status conference November 18th, 8:31 a.m., preliminary hearing November 20th, 8:31 a.m. at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. Mr. Brown, I am setting bond in the amount of $5,000. That is a secured appearance bond, meaning that you can pay that directly or work with a bail bonding company. They generally require 10% plus collateral. 10% of $5,000 would be $500. If you pay that bond, you will be released. You're then promising to go to court on all of your court dates. Let's see. You also must comply with pretrial services supervision, and beginning on your first court date, you will start drug and alcohol testing and monitoring. You have the standard conditions and restrictions of release, plus you're not to possess or consume any alcohol, and you must submit to fingerprinting at the arresting police department. Mr. Brown, do you have any questions?
Yes. So does that mean that I'm staying in, right?
Correct. Unless you pay the bond, you'll remain in custody.
Okay. And that's going to be all the way until like all my hearings done, because I know for sure I can't pay none.
Okay.
Because like I said, I'm not working right now, so.
Yeah, so when you go to court on November 18th, you can speak with your attorney. It's possible the judge can modify your release, the bond and release conditions then.
November 18th. Okay.
Yes. All right. Thank you, Mr. Brown.
Thank you.
Cesar Castillo and then Bianca Rivers will be on deck. Good afternoon, sir. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Cesar Castillo Jr.
Thank you, Mr. Castillo. Sir, you're here on a Superior Court new case. I find probable cause for the allegation 1 count of aggravated assault of a firefighter, EMT, or medic. That's a Class 6 felony. I've appointed you an attorney. You have a status conference November 18th, 8:31 a.m., preliminary hearing November 20th, 8:31 a.m. at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. Mr. Castillo, I am setting bond amount of $2,500. That is a secured appearance bond. You can pay that amount directly or work with a bail bonding company. They generally require 10% plus collateral. 10% of $2,500 would be $250. If you pay your bond, you will be released. You're then promising to go to court on all of your court dates. You also must comply with pretrial services supervision and with the standard conditions and restrictions of release. In addition, you're not to initiate contact with any alleged victims, complainants, or witnesses, or have any physical contact with any alleged victims. You're not to possess any weapons, and you must submit to DNA testing at the arresting police department. Mr. Castillo, do you have any questions?
Not really.
Okay.
Well, actually, when will I be released?
So if you pay your bond, you'll be released within 4 hours to 6 hours. Otherwise, when you see the judge on the 18th, you can speak with your attorney first about requesting to modify the bond and release conditions, and then the judge may consider it at that time.
All right.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Bianca Rivers and then Benny Sepnet will be on deck. Good afternoon, ma'am. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Bianca Rivers,
Thank you, Ms. Rivers. Ms. Rivers, you are here on a Superior Court probation violation warrant. This is for alleged violations of terms 3 and 5. I've appointed you an attorney. You have a probation hearing scheduled November 18th, 8:30 a.m. at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. I've set bond amount of $250. It is a secured appearance bond, which technically means you can work with a bail bonding company. However, because the amount's so low, I don't believe any bail bonding companies will work with that number. I may be mistaken. If they do, though, I don't know what their terms would be. So if you pay your bond, you are promising to go to court on all of your court dates. You're also promising to comply with the standard conditions and restrictions of release. In addition, you're not to possess any weapons, you're not to possess or consume any alcohol, and you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release. Ms. Rivers, do you have any questions?
so, I don't know, I don't have any questions.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Rivers. Benny Sepnet and then Robert Moss will be on deck. Good afternoon, sir. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Benny Monalvo Sepnet Jr., 11.
Thank you, Mr. Sepnet. Sir, you're here on a Superior Court probation violation warrant. This is for alleged violations of terms 3 and 5. I've appointed you an attorney. You have a probation hearing November 18th, 8:30 a.m. at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. I am affirming bond amount of $250. That is a secured appearance bond. That means you can pay that amount directly or work with a bail bonding company. The amount's so low, though, I don't know if any will work with that number. If they do, I don't know what their terms would be. But if you pay your bond, you will be released. You're then promising to go to court on all of your court dates. You're also promising to comply with the standard conditions and restrictions of release. In addition, you're not to possess any weapons. You're not to possess or consume any alcohol. You must submit to fingerprinting of the arresting police department and contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release. Mr. Sepnet, do you have any questions?
No.
Thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
Will I be released today? No, I have to do bond?
You have to pay the bond in order to be released.
Or stay till the 18th?
Or stay till the 18th, correct. Robert Moss and then Blanca Parra will be on deck. Good afternoon, sir. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Robert Moss.
Thank you, Mr. Moss. Mr. Moss, you're here on a surprise municipal court warrant. This is for a charge of 1 count of possession or use of drug paraphernalia, Class 1 misdemeanor. I have appointed you an attorney for limited representation regarding the bond issue only. You have an arraignment hearing at the surprise municipal courthouse on November 19th at 1:30 p.m. Mr. Moss, I'm just putting a placeholder bond amount of $50. I believe you were seen yesterday on some other charges and you have bonds in those cases, so the $50 is just added to the total of those bonds. Again, if you pay all of your bonds, you'll be released. You're then promising to go to court on all of your court dates and all of your cases, and you're promising to comply with the standard conditions and restrictions of release. Mr. Moss, do you have any questions?
When's my next court date?
November 19th.
For this surprise case?
For this particular case, correct.
And yesterday was my next court date, do you know?
Just one moment. Yesterday, your court date, because these are probation matters, November 15th.
Will I be released on the 15th then?
I don't know. It's up to the probation judge as to whether to reinstate you.
Okay, because if I'm in court on the 19th, if I'm still here in custody, then what happens?
They'll transport you to court on the 19th.
Okay, gotcha.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Moss. Blanca Parra and then Richard Contreras will be on deck. Good afternoon, ma'am. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Kapara.
Thank you, Ms. Parra. Ms. Parra, you're here on a Superior Court new case. I find probable cause for the allegations, 1 count of possession or use of narcotic drugs and 1 count of possession or use of dangerous drugs. Those are both Class 4 felonies. Also 1 count of possession or use of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony. I've appointed you an attorney. You have a status conference November 25th, 8:31 a.m. Preliminary hearing November 27th, 8:31 a.m. That'll be at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. Ms. Parra, I'm going to release you on supervised release, so that means you're going to leave here in approximately 4 hours to 6 hours from now. Because you're being released, you're promising to go to court on all of your court dates. You're also promising to comply with the standard conditions and restrictions of release and with pretrial services supervision. In addition, you're not to possess any weapons, and you must submit to fingerprinting at the arresting police department within 5 days of today's date. Ms. Parra, do you have any questions?
No,
All right, thank you, ma'am.
thank you.
Good luck to you. Oh, and Officer, Ms. Van Lanker, who's number 33, she's got a fugitive of justice case. Do you know if she's been provided the sheet?
Yes, she has.
She has. Okay, thank you.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. My name is Richard Contreras.
Thank you, Mr. Contreras. Sir, you're here on a Superior Court failure to appear warrant. This is a case in which your prosecution was suspended. It has been resumed. So you have a status conference November 20th, 8:30 a.m. at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. Mr. Contreras, I'm going to give you a chance to get to court. I am going to release you today on supervised release, so that means you're going to leave here in about 4 hours to 6 hours from now. Because you're being released, you're promising to go to court on the 20th, promising to comply with supervision and with the standard conditions and restrictions of release. In addition, you're not to possess any weapons. You must submit to fingerprinting at the arresting police department within 5 days of today's date.
Okay, so I would have to go to the state troopers on GPS?
Was it the state troopers that you were
Yeah,
arrested by?
DPS arrested me.
Okay. What I would do, Mr. Contreras, is reach out to DPS,
Okay,
explain the situation to them, see if they need you to go in for fingerprinting or not.
okay. Thank
Okay.
you very much, sir.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Contreras.
Thank
Good
you.
luck to you.
Thank you.
All right, Albert Meeks and then Starla Van Lanker will be on deck. Good afternoon. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Albert Meeks.
Thank you. And I apologize if it's rude for me to ask. Do you have a preferred pronouns?
He.
He? Okay, just making sure. All right, thank you, Mr. Meeks.
Thank you.
Sir, you're here on a Justice Court warrant from the Moon Valley Justice Court. You have an arraignment hearing November 22nd, 10 a.m. That's at the Moon Valley Justice Court. I am going to release you on your own recognizance. That means you're going to leave here in about 4 hours to 6 hours from now. Because you're being released, you're promising to go to court on the 22nd and promising to comply with the standard conditions and restrictions of release. Mr. Meeks, do you have any questions?
Is that, I don't even know what that is.
Oh, so it's a driving with your license suspended, revoked, or canceled case. It looks like the original alleged offense date's November 29th, 2021. This is a failure to appear warrant, but the way it's written makes me think that they didn't have your current address when this was issued, and so then that's why the warrant popped up.
Okay.
Okay? And so when you go to court, they can explain more to you about what the case is and what your options are.
Okay.
All right. Mr. Meeks, any other questions?
Nope. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Starla Van Lanker, and then we'll take care of our house calls. Hi, good afternoon, ma'am. Could you
Hi.
please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Stella Renee Van Linker, 6.
All right, thank you, Ms. Van Lanker. Ma'am, you're here on a fugitive of justice case. You've got a warrant from the state of Missouri.
Okay.
Did you have an opportunity to review the paperwork
I
before you
did,
came
but I
out
didn't
here?
quite understand what it meant.
Okay. All right, I'll go over it with you. We'll talk about what your options are.
Okay.
So essentially, Ms. Van Lanker, you have a warrant from the state of Missouri. It is a probation violation warrant. So you have a choice to make at this time. You can choose to waive your right to an extradition hearing and be sent back to Missouri within 30 days, or you can demand an extradition hearing and that a governor's warrant be signed by the governors of both states before you are returned to the state of Missouri. If you choose to waive your right to an extradition hearing, you would be held non-bondable in Maricopa County Jail for a period of up to 30 days to allow Missouri to come and pick you up. That 30 days will start tomorrow as long as you do not have any local charges pending.
I don't have
You
any local charges pending.
Okay. And I don't see that you do. So if you do have local charges pending, though, you'll have to resolve those before the 30 days begins. If you choose to have an extradition hearing, that will be on November 18th at 1:30 p.m. at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. I cannot appoint an attorney to represent you because extradition matters are civil in nature. However, you can hire an attorney at your own expense if you wish to do so. You are not entitled to bond in this case because, again, this is for a probation violation. It is possible that the judge on the 18th could change that. I think generally that doesn't happen, but I don't know for sure. I'm not the fugitive justice judge. So a governor's warrant signed by the governors of both states is required to extradite you to Missouri. That process could take up to 90 days. So Ms. Van Lanker, do you know which option you wish to go with?
I don't know what to go with. The first one, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, and
haven't
I
even
can't.
got to talk to my family and let them know I'm here.
Okay. Well, there will be phones made available to you, so you can reach out to friends or family
Right,
members.
but I mean, like, I have health issues, I have heart conditions, I'm on a transplant for a heart, so I shouldn't even be, like, it's bad.
No, Ms. Van Lanker, that is a very serious thing.
It is.
No, I agree with you. We do have excellent medical staff here. Unfortunately, Ms. Van Lanker, I don't have any different
I don't know what to
choices
do.
in
I
this
mean,
case.
the first one, I guess, it's the only choice is there any way I can be released and then come back?
Unfortunately, there's not, ma'am. I don't have that ability because this is a probation violation warrant from another state.
Well, I don't understand the second one. I mean, the first one, I guess, the 30 days.
Okay. Okay.
Where would you go? I mean, I don't know what to do. I don't know.
Well, yeah, so I can't offer you any advice. So again, just to go over the options. One is you're agreeing to the extradition. Missouri would have 30 days starting tomorrow to come and pick you up.
Do they usually pick you up?
I think generally they do pick people up. I don't know for sure. I don't know whether it's going to be next week.
What happens if they don't pick me up? Is it done deal? I mean, like...
Good question. So if they do not pick you up, then on day 31, we open the door, you're able to walk free. However, Missouri can still issue another warrant at that point. That often does happen. So if it were the case that they didn't come and pick you up and you get released, then I would highly recommend that you go to Missouri or reach out and get the situation taken care of.
So the second one is like, what were we saying on the second one again?
So the second option means you're saying you don't agree to the extradition. You'll have a hearing on November 18th. The judge at that time will go over these options again.
Oh, because I've already been to Missouri once for this. So, I mean, and they've already picked me up the last time too. And then I was released back to Arizona because this is where I live.
Mm-hmm.
I have no family in Missouri. I have no ties in Missouri. I don't know anything about Missouri. So,
Okay.
you know what I mean? I don't know.
No, I understand it's a very frustrating situation, ma'am. Again, I can't do, because it's a warrant from another state, I have to enforce the warrant.
Right. I didn't need to know I don't know what to do.
Okay. Well, so, again, your options are that you're agreeing to the extradition, or you can say, look, I want to talk to the judge again on the 18th.
Yeah, but either way, I'm here. Right?
Correct. Either way, right. You are non-bondable, so either way, you would be here until at least the 18th.
I don't know what to do. I honestly don't.
Well,
Because the whole situation is like, I just don't know what to do. I'm lost.
yeah. So, Ms. Van Lanker, if you're not sure of what to do, then...
I am not.
No, and I understand. I fully understand that. If you're not sure of what to do, then I need to set the hearing on the 18th to give you some time to consider your options, because unless you say, I am absolutely certain I'm willing to agree to the extradition, I can't order that today.
Okay, well, I mean, like, I don't understand it, though. I don't understand, like, I mean, I don't understand things.
Okay. Well, so let me try to break it down if maybe this is part of the misunderstanding. So essentially, Missouri is saying that
I shouldn't even be here right now because I didn't even commit a crime.
Okay. So what Missouri is alleging is that you did not comply with their rules of probation. That's what they're saying. It doesn't guarantee that you are. I don't know the situation. All I know is that there's a warrant.
I have not, like, the probation, I did not complete my probation, no. I didn't have an address for them, so I've been on the run for a while now from them.
Okay. So, right, so Missouri wants you to be brought back there so that you can see a judge there regarding the probation violation.
Right. Are they going to be able to bring me back here? Am I going to be able to come back here?
Well,
I have kids here.
You're going to have to go there and speak with the judge.
So I should just take the first one then? I'm so lost, I don't know.
Right, I can't give you advice. That's going to be the fastest way to get to Missouri to get this resolved, would be to take the first one.
See, I don't know what to do. I would get somebody to help me. Maybe I should just kill myself and be done with everything. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I have congestive heart failure. I have 2 little girls I need to be with. You know what I mean? I don't know what to do.
Right.
I have serious medical issues.
No, Ms. Van Linker, I believe you again, and I realize it's serious. And what I'll tell you is that your 2 little girls, I'm sure that they need you.
Yes,
so I understand that right now this is a moment of deep despair, but I sincerely believe that you can do very difficult things, and that I understand this is.
I guess I'll take the first one, the 30 days, and they have 30 days to come and get me, and if they don't, then I'm released.
Okay.
But I don't even know if I'm doing the right choice.
Well, I understand.
Can I change it later?
No, if you agree to this today, then that means that you're agreeing that Missouri will come and pick you up within 30 days. But if you're...
But I don't want them to.
Well, I understand that you don't want them to, but here are the 2 options, okay? There's option 1, which is you agree to go. Option 2 is you say, I don't agree to go, and then there will be a hearing and maybe additional hearings where it will be determined whether or not you will be sent back. But you're non-bondable, so during that time you're going to have to wait.
See, that's where I'm stuck. I don't know. I don't know.
So Ms. Van Linker, let me just explain this too, is that you've already said that you know you were out of compliance with Missouri. So that means almost certainly Missouri, it's going to go to the point that Missouri is going to get you to be extradited. That might take up to 90 days, though, or you can agree to the 30 days.
I'll just agree with the 30 then.
Okay. All right. So I understand you do want to sign the waiver of extradition. I need to ask you a series of questions because I am making a record of this proceeding.
Am I non-bondable, really?
Yes. Anytime it's a probation violation, you are non-bondable. I cannot change that. Okay? So I'm going to be going over some questions. These are about the rights that you are giving up because you're agreeing to be extradited. Okay?
See, I don't know.
All right, well, let's go over the questions. Did you read the waiver of extradition paperwork?
I did, but I did not understand it.
Okay. Well, so Ms. Van Linker, if I've tried to explain this and break it down as best I can. If you still don't understand it, then I need to set the hearing for the 18th. And you can talk to the judge then, okay? And I'm not trying to be difficult.
What's the 18th? How long is that? That's like a ways away.
Yeah, today's the 10th. The 18th is 8 days from now.
No, I don't want to do. I don't know what to do.
Okay, I'm going to go through these questions. If you're not able to answer them, the way that's necessary.
I need to talk to somebody, sit down and talk to somebody because my comprehension is extremely bad.
Okay, so Ms. Van Linker, unfortunately, it's not a possibility.
Just do the first one then, I guess. I don't know.
Okay, I'm going to go over the questions with you, and we'll see if we're going to go with the first one, okay? So, I'm going to ask you again, did you read the waiver of extradition paperwork?
I did read it, but I did not understand it, no.
Okay.
I mean, I tried to, but I did not understand everything proper, though.
I have talked to you about the 2 options that are in the paperwork.
Okay, so then I understand that part, yes.
Okay, all right, thank you. Do you understand that you do not have to sign the paperwork today agreeing to be extradited?
Yes.
You're not, in other words, no one's forcing you to do that. You understand that, correct?
Yes.
All right. Do you understand that you have the right to have an extradition hearing?
Yes.
All right. Do you understand that you have the right to hire a lawyer at your own expense?
Yes.
Do you understand that you have the right to demand that a governor's warrant be signed by the governors of both states before you are returned to Missouri?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I hire a the ones that are public, the ones that you don't cost money?
Right. So those are public defenders.
Defenders.
Again, right. There are people, so the answer to that is sort of. There are people who work as defenders who also have a private practice. You could hire them, but you're paying for them then. Because understand, this is a civil matter, so you're not entitled to an attorney because of that.
Okay.
Okay? So, do you want...
The last time I got arrested, I was arrested because I had to stay here for 30 days regardless because I had something here, and then they came and got me. You know what I mean? So I had to stay here anyways. This is like where I have nothing on me now, and then so I'm staying here for no reason.
Well, right. The reason you're staying here is because you're waiting for Missouri to come and pick you up.
Right.
Right. Okay. So we just went over the rights that you would be giving up. Do you want to give up those rights and sign the paperwork today?
I don't know.
Okay, then I need to set the extradition hearing, and that's okay if you don't know. You don't have to know today, but then I need to set the extradition
But I don't
hearing
want
if
to
you
stay
don't know.
here longer.
Well, I understand that, Ms. Van Lanker, but if you don't know the answer to whether you want to give up those rights today, then I have to set the hearing.
No, I just want to do the 30 days, I think, because I want to start yesterday whenever I was arrested.
Okay, so do you want to give up those rights that we went over and sign the paperwork agreeing to the extradition today?
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Okay. Has anyone threatened you or
I need
promised?
somebody to explain things to me, though.
Okay, Ms. Van Lanker, I have tried to explain things as best I can. I understand you're not fully understanding.
At all.
Okay, well then, Ms. Van Lanker, I'm sorry, I'm going to set the hearing for the 18th.
No, just do
Yes,
the first
Ms. Van
one.
Lanker, you keep telling me that you don't understand, and so if you
No,
can't
just do
understand...
the first one, please.
No, Ms. Van Lanker, you keep telling me you don't understand, and you don't understand at all.
But I
If
don't
you
want to be here for 38 days.
Well, I understand that, but you keep telling me you don't understand. If you don't understand what you're agreeing to, I can't enter that for
Just
you.
do the first one, please.
But you've told me you don't understand, Ms. Van
Just
Lanker.
do the first one.
Well, wait.
on-
Okay, then I'm going to
please.
ask you again, but I need to know. Like, I understand you're
Do
very
the first one.
distressed.
I'll stop.
I need you to stop talking for a moment.
Okay.
Okay? You keep interrupting me. I understand you're very distressed.
I know, yeah.
But I need you to stop. Okay? Ms. Van Lanker, I've gone over the options. You've told me you understand the two options. Okay? I understand you wish you could talk to someone. Unfortunately, that's not possible. So I need to know,
Just do the first one, please.
Ms. Van Lanker, I've asked you to stop interrupting me. Please do not speak again, or you will have to go back into an isolation cell,
Okay.
and you will have your hearing on the 18th.
Okay.
I understand you are distressed. I've tried to be so patient with you.
You have, and thank you.
Yes, but you need to stop. Please.
Okay.
Okay? Because you're not going to like the outcome if you can't stop. Okay. I've gone through these options. I've tried to explain it to you. You've told me you don't understand it all. Do you understand well enough that by agreeing this today, you will be extradited within 30 days, or excuse me, Missouri will have 30 days to come and pick you up?
Yes, I do understand that.
And you understand that you are giving up certain rights by agreeing to this today?
Yes.
Okay. So, I'm going to ask you again, do you want to give up those rights and sign the
Yes.
paperwork today?
Yes.
Okay. Has anyone threatened you or promised you anything to get you to sign the paperwork?
No.
Okay. Have you had any drugs, alcohol, or medication within the last 24 hours?
I've had my medication, but I've not had drugs or alcohol, no.
Okay. Do you believe that your medication has affected your ability to understand the proceedings today?
Yes.
Okay. Then we have to have...
Oh, no. No, it has not.
It has not?
It's just my heart medication, that's all it is.
Okay. All right. Ms. Van Lanker, I find that you knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily are signing the waiver, and I am also signing it. I'm directing the Sheriff's Office to notify Missouri that you are ready to return. Missouri will have 30 days from tomorrow to come and pick you up, unless there are local charges pending. If there are local charges pending, the 30 days will not begin until those local charges are resolved. I don't see that there are local charges. You don't believe there are, so I think that the 30 days will start tomorrow. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Van Lanker. Again, I know this is really difficult. I appreciate your patience with me. If you'll please step to your right, the courtroom assistant will let you know when to sign. I understand, Ms. Van Lanker, and I accept your apology.